Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. Holla Chi-Town, Scream ATL, Shout Carolinas. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. We are in the building.
Welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. I am your host, Laura Simmons, and this is my guest, Charles Williams. I'm so glad to be back, y'all. I want to thank everybody for your prayers, your gifts, your thoughts, your calls, your love, whatever you did to show love for my baby girl. I want to thank you, and I just want to move on from there. But I want to thank everybody. So today I have my guest Charles Williams in the building. How you doing today, Charles?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Yep. Thank you, Charles, for joining me today. I'm so excited for us to talk about finances today. But first, I want to start off by asking you to tell the people who is Charles Williams.
Perfect. My name's Charles Williams. For everybody, I'm 27 years old. I'm originally from Rochester, New York. I've been in living in Chicago since 2019, so about 5 6 years now. For a minute, come from healthcare, people with developmental disabilities, drug rehab, and I've been licensed in the life insurance and financial services industry or since about 2017, 2018. So for a couple years now.
Oh, good. Cool. So, Charles, what made you want to get into that business?
Honestly, it in the beginning, to be honest, it wasn't really anything to do with financial services. It was kind of by accident. So I got into the industry. A guy I went to high school with, I kind of see him on social media, like traveling, and this was a couple about 2 years after high school. So I see him like reading books and developing. And in high school, he wasn't like that. So I'm like, he's doing something different. And I kind of we just got connected. He said, "Hey, do you want to see what I'm doing?" And I came to the office, and that was kind of how I got into the industry. So kind of an accident, honestly, but I would say what kept me in the industry is when as I started kind of studying and realizing like, hey, is this something I want to do? I realized the lack of financial literacy and education. Well, first of all, with my family, because I'm like, wait, I thought they knew this stuff, and then just with people that everybody, but definitely people that look like me and you, and then I just got to the point like, hey, if it's a saying to say, hey, if it's up to me, it's up to me. So that's what made me stay into the industry. But I got in kind of by accident, honestly.
Oh, cool. Well, are you happy in the direction your business is going?
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, 1000%. And I love the industry. So I love the industry that everything been kind of growing and up. But I think when you focus on helping and serving people, definitely in this business, everything eventually plays its part. So 100%.
Cool. So, what motivates you? What's your why?
Yeah, good question. Honestly, I think the biggest thing I would say that motivates me is being an example of success. And what I mean by that, so me kind of growing up and coming, I never like just in my day to day life growing up, I never had like I would say example of success, meaning somebody who was like winning like spiritually, financially, and doing it at a high level, but who was also tangible and who was actually like helping people in the community. I didn't have that. Like, luckily, I had my mom. She was phenomenal, hardest working woman I know. But like outside of that, I didn't really have a somebody who was like an example of success and who was tangible, like who I can actually talk to. So luckily, like at age 19 and 20, I started stumbling across like business books, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's people like doing big things, but it was nobody in my environment. So a big thing that drive me, I'm like, man, I want to be somebody like from the community and who's helping a lot of people and who's winning and who's tangible, like who you can actually like talk to, touch, and learn from. Not somebody who like made it from somewhere but don't talk to nobody from the city or kind of where they came from. So that's a big thing I'll say that drive me.
Oh wow, that is so cool. For those of you that are just joining, I am interviewing Charles Williams. He is in financial services, and he believes in helping the community and helping people get where they need to be financially and life insurance and all those different things that you may need. So, what has been your biggest challenge?
Good. That's a great question. I would say, are you saying like in life or in business in general?
Business in general. It could be life, either one.
Uh, I would say one of my biggest challenges, I would say definitely in business is probably, I would say, my biggest challenge was, I would say for me when I moved here to Illinois. Still say to this day, 2019 was the hardest year of my life because, to be clear, like when I moved to Illinois to enter the office out in Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois, that's where I'm at right now. And I live in Chicago though. But when I moved here in 2019, so I was 22 years old. I didn't know nobody in Illinois. So the first time like I ever came to Illinois was when I moved here.
Oh wow.
I think that was probably the biggest thing, just when I first moved here, not knowing nobody, and also just doing it in an industry where I was like a couple months in, so I didn't like know the business or industry at all. I don't come from business, financial services, nothing. I come from people with developmental disabilities and drug rehab, and I worked at Wendy's like directly from coming in here. So no business sales experience or finance or nothing. So I think that was them two was the biggest things.
Wow. 27 years old. And you've been in the business how long you said again?
Yeah, so I technically got introduced to the industry like the beginning of 2018, and so once we started in Rochester, that's where I'm from, Rochester, New York. Probably 2 months once I got started, the office shut down and went to Brooklyn, which is like 3 hours from where I'm from. And I was about to go to that office, but that was a newer office, so I didn't go out there. So I was kind of floating by myself in New York for like 8 9 months, and then close to a year honestly. And then April 1st, 2019, that's when I moved to Illinois. So technically 2018, but you can probably say 2019, but technically 2018.
Wow. So, what do you think about Chicago so far?
Yeah, honestly, I love it. So first of all, me, I'm an easy guy to please, so I'm
Uh,
not like hard to please at all. But honestly, I feel like Chicago and New York as a whole, I think is kind of similar. Like in
similar.
my opinion, like weather, kind of how I look at Chicago. Definitely when I first moved here is like it's kind of like still living in Rochester because it's like the same city vibes, weather, but just living closer to New York City
Mhm.
because Chicago is a big place. Rochester is probably 300,000 people, and in Monroe County maybe 800,000. That's like around the surroundings. So that's how I look at it. But it's crazy. I was thinking the other day, like a week ago, I realized like, man, I spent more of my 20s in Chicago than actually in New York. I've been out here since 28. I was 22. So I love it in Chicago. Chicago, that's a new home. It's nothing like your hometown, but nah, Chicago's my new home. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's nice to hear. I always wanted to go to New York. I have never been to New York. That's funny, but that's one of my plans. Is on my bucket list to get to New York.
Good place.
When I was younger, I always dreamed of going to New York to model there in New York. Um,
Nice.
but I didn't make it there because of life itself. Things change, and it is what it is.
Hey, you making it here though. That's what matters.
That's well, I'm trying.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
I'm trying. What is the best advice you have received?
Oh, good. I would say it's a guy. It was kind of advice, but I would say, yeah, this is it. I would say, so when I was in the process of moving to Illinois, and I remember during that time, the office and where I was from, it just shut down at that time, and I was 20, I was 21 at that time. I'm like, man, should I try to like build this out here, or should I move to like a more established place? And I was new in the business, so I didn't know. And I remember I feel like it was like God talking to him through me. And I'll never forget this because I'm at the job I was working at, and he's like talking to me. He was like a minister also outside. So, he's, preaching and things like that. And he's talking to me and I'm listening, but I'm not listening because, when you got a lot going on, you're listening, but you're like really somewhere else. And I never forget. So he's talking to me, he's saying a lot. And one thing he said, I never forget, he said, whatever in life you fight for, God will bless you for your efforts. And
Wow.
man, and it always get me emotional because during that time he didn't even know what I was going through. Like I never told him I was planning on moving, but I felt God was talking to him through me, and that's just something I never forget. So I don't know if that would be considered advice, but it was just words, something I'd never forget. He said, "Whatever in life you fight for, God will bless you for your efforts." And to this day, that was 2018. I don't even think 2019. And he said that, and it was like, man, like I would never forget that because I'm like, it's true. So if
Yeah.
it was anything, I would say that's. I don't know if that's technically advice, but the one of the biggest words I think anybody said to me. I never forget that, and I move that way to this day.
Yeah, if you notice on the post that I posted showing the show, I also put on there where God is at. Where when you follow God's plan, it makes everything fall into place.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's basically it. Right.
Hmm.
So that's good. What else I wanted to ask you? So tell people what exactly you do. I mean, the insurances. I seen that you had entrepreneurship in there and things like that. So explain to people
Yeah,
about it.
so I'm a thank you. So I'm a broker and I'm an agency owner in the financial industry, like more specifically like life insurance and retirement. So what I do like on the product side, like I'm a broker, meaning like I represent multiple companies, like National Life Group, American National, Mutual of Omaha, and also help with retirement. So like when people are losing money, if it's the 401k, 403b, the stock market, I help them like roll their money over into safe accounts. And like the business aspect, since I do have my own agency, I like, of course, train, develop people who's looking to get into this industry part time too. So that's what I do.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's good. So you was talking about the 401 is what is it called? 401B?
Yeah, well, like 403b or 401k.
Yeah. So I've heard a few things about it. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so like 401ks, 403bs, 457s, pretty much the same thing. It's just different tax codes. Like a 401k is like employer retirement plan with like a for profit company. 403bs is just what they call a retirement account for non for profit companies like nurses, school teachers. A lot of times they have 403bs, and like for profit companies they have 401ks. So it's just a retirement at an employer plan at a retirement job at their job for retirement.
Wow. Okay. So where can people find you at on
Um,
Facebook and Instagram?
yep. So my name on Facebook is Charles Space CIC Williams. I put the CIC because when I first moved here, it's like if you look up, it's like a million Charles Williamses. so
Yeah.
So the CIC kind of makes it easier to find me. So CIC is Charles in Charge. So on Facebook, Charles CIC Williams, and on Instagram is Charles in Charge Williams. So underscore. So Charles underscore in Charge Williams.
Okay. And that's on face which one is which?
Oh, so Facebook is Charles CIC Williams,
Okay.
and Instagram is Charles in Charge Williams, all underscores.
Okay. Okay. Now if they're interested in insurance like or getting into the business, is there a way they can um is there a way that they can talk to you about getting into the business?
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, if they follow me on either Facebook or Instagram or anything, you could just reach out to me directly and I'll get right back to you. So I tell my clients and people I work with, hey, I'm open like 7-Eleven. So I'm accessible. But yeah,
That's
they
right.
could just reach out to me directly.
That's what you call somebody that's determined to be successful. That's what that is. You is yeah, you
Yeah,
determined to be successful.
yeah, because one thing I say, and I think for me learning, I think a big reason why I'm like that is because I remember coming up and remember when we didn't have an office in New York anymore. I was kind of out, well, not kind of, I was out there by myself. Well, me and God, and like I remember I was looking to like learn this business and like learn how to help families, but I didn't have nobody I can actually talk to and say, hey, I need help or assistance. I was floating, and I know how like frustrating that can be, like on a business aspect and on a client aspect. If Google or books is your only source. So now the more knowledge I gain, I'm like, man, I want to be somebody who people can actually talk to and be accessible, because I remember how it was me coming up. And if you like want to do something but you don't have like guidance or coaching or somebody who know what they're doing, anything possible with God, but it's tough by trying to.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's so funny you said that because I had been getting a lot of emails, a lot of inboxes, and things like that asking me why, when am I going to bring my show back, and this and that. So what I did was I took it to God first.
Mm,
So when I came back, the reason why I'm coming back is because it was by God's direction. He this is what He want me to do. Although I'm going through a lot, and I'm still going down the path of trying to get myself together and stuff. On this journey, the Lord has explained to me that I have to go through
mm,
um, hurt, pain. I have to go through a lot of stuff to get to where it is that the path that He has for me.
mm.
So I had to learn that I had to put God first before I could do anything. So that's where I'm at right now, myself. So I truly understand what you mean by that.
And I'll say this: I know I'm glad you're back, and I know people watching is glad you're back. And I'll say this: God is using you, and the things you're going to overcome it.
Mhm.
Because, you'll be somebody that be an example to others who may go through the same thing. So God's just using you to be the example and a hope and an inspiration for somebody else. So I'm glad you fought it through.
Yep. Yep. Um, what else can I say? Um, so if someone asked you, what's one thing that you think you can do to change the world? What would that one thing be?
Are you saying me or in general or me?
You.
I would say if it was like if you said the question was let me.
Yeah. If there was one thing that you could do to change the world, what would it be that you would do?
Mm, one thing that I would do.
Hmm.
That's an amazing question. Um, that's a good question. I never thought of that. Never thought of it. But the biggest thing I can say, and I'm actually gonna want to dive deep into that question, and I'll reach back out to you too when I get it. But I would say one thing, if it's anything I can do, or to anybody, just win at a high level to be an example of success and be a sense of hope. Because a big thing I will say, like I aspire to do, is like a big reason why like I want to win in life is to like give back and to be able
Yeah.
to like give money to like if it's small businesses or people that's looking to inspire their business, or like one of my big aspirations was one day I can go to like Walmart or the store and just pay for everybody's stuff there.
Yes, that is one of my dreams too. I want to go into the store and just everybody that's in line, I want to be able to say, I got y'all.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do. That, and then another thing that I always wanted to do was I always wanted to purchase a building
nice,
where I can help homeless people get back on back on track. You
nice,
know,
nice.
yeah.
I like every other year I go to my hometown and like do turkey giveaways. I'm planning on like doing something here and
Mhm.
probably like something for like Christmas, like toys and things like that too. So that's a big reason why I want to win. I'm like, if I can do it, I could be able to bless more people, but I have to do it first.
Right. I've seen a lot of your videos where you're doing really well in your industry. That's good, and I'm so proud of you because you're so young and you are still striving to, no matter what, you still striving to be the best that you can be, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm proud of you for having me in here and just in general fighting through everything you're going through and still coming back here and
Yeah,
still putting a smile on your face and still like inspiring people. That's remarkable to be able to do that and still come back and handle everything. So
yeah,
you inspiring me by fighting through everything because it showed me, okay, if I'm going through something, okay, Lord went through something too. I gotta fight through it now.
yeah. Well, let me explain something to you. It's not me, it's him.
Mm,
So I just, everything that I do is because of him. So,
amen,
you know, I can't do anything without God. So
amen,
he gave me the strength that I have, and um, there is more that I'm supposed to do, and I have to get back out here and I have to do it. I have to do what it is that I'm supposed to do. So
amen,
if I could touch somebody else's heart or another life or whatever that may be, that's what I'm here to do. And I just ask God for the directions. I asked Him to guide my steps every step of the way. Um, and yeah, it's not easy, but you have to keep your head up and keep on moving forward. So
100%. Amen.
yeah. Angelique, we are so glad. I'm so glad you are here. You tuned in, and everyone else that's out there that's tuned in. I'm so glad you guys tuned in. This young man right here, Charles Williams, is somebody you guys want to know because he can help you out with a lot of things. You know, the I've heard so much about that life insurance program. Now I don't know if you were connected with what's his name, AC Green show,
Mhm.
was connected through him or
Yep. Yeah. So he's yeah, he actually, obviously of course his radio, he's educated a lot of families, and he actually like partnered up with our firm. So
Mhm.
me as like a certified trainer and somebody who's, a trainer in the office, like I'm helping a lot of people who's like working directly with them. So yeah, that's how me and you initially got connected.
Right, right. Because I had called his show, and when I spoke with him, he was telling me about the program. And actually, I had started taking the class for life insurance, and but I passed the life insurance part. But when I got to the other part with the
Health.
no with
But
the cars and
oh
yeah, all that. When I got to that, that's where I had my biggest problem at right
yeah.
there. But I was okay with the life insurance. I had that part down pat. But it
Mm.
was the auto and all that that I had the problem with.
What
That's a
what
lot.
you still can go back and just get your life license. You don't have to get both. That's I would
Yeah.
just get that then.
What the life insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get that.
Yeah. Yep. So this young man is Charles Williams, guys. Tell them again where you're from, Charles.
I'm originally from Rochester, New York. I live in Chicago now, so I'm here local. But Rochester, New York is where I'm originally from.
And what company you are with? Is it your own personal company?
Well,
You
so I'm a broker through a company called PHP agency. But I'm a agency owner, so I have my own agency, which is WTC. We take charge financial.
oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Good look, good promotion. Look,
You see what
great minds think alike.
right?
But yeah, that is so cool. That's what you do. You're supposed to promote your company, yourself, and your company.
Yeah,
And people always watching you. So
yeah,
it's very important what you do and how you do things
right.
because there is always someone watching you. Even
Mm.
when you think no one is watching, they are watching. You know, you got those people that they watch from a distance. They won't let you know they're watching you, but they
Yeah,
watch from a distance. Um, it's like what they call the haters, but they really just those your biggest fans. Really,
yeah, true.
those are your biggest fans. The ones that really won't comment, they won't say anything, but they watching you. You
Yeah,
know, and the first time you slip up and do something wrong, they're the
mm,
first ones that will say something.
yeah. And
Believe that.
I'm like, you didn't like my stuff in 5 years.
Yes, exactly. But that one time that you say something wrong, that's when they comment.
And
That's when they say,
they're
"Yep,
the first. Mm,
yep." They the first ones to say something.
yep.
So
And like,
yeah, you got to make sure that you stay on your stuff.
100%.
You know, wow, 27 years old. That's really good. And I like I said, I've seen a lot of your videos. I've watched you. I've been watching you just grow. You really doing your thing, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you,
You
thank you.
know.
I truly appreciate that. Definitely coming from you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you. Let me see. My son is 28.
Now you,
So yeah, so y'all around the same age. He just turned 28.
wow, happy
And
later.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's a good thing.
Mm,
That's a really good thing, and you're doing your thing. Um,
thank you.
what else? I was gonna ask you something else. So when you so if you started your own company from this company, or you still working with them right now, but is it like
Yeah.
something separate or something? Because I seen entrepreneurship
Hmm.
on your profile.
Yeah. So great question. So pretty much, so I'm still partnered up with the same company,
Mhm,
but like in our company, it's like certain guidelines and things to. So we're all independent contractors through the company,
mhm,
but it's certain like guidelines and criteria you hit to become a called a something called a broker or agency owner. So I officially became an agency owner in June, so like 3 months ago. So essentially, what an agency owner is like with our firm is like if you ever went to like a State Farm or Allstate and you see the building and it's like somebody name, that's
mhm.
like the equivalent of an agency owner here. It's just I'm at the same office and company. So yes, I'm still partnered with the same company, but I have my own agency in a company. Kind of like I'm a visual person. Kind of
Mhm,
like Michael Jordan is with Nike. That's the bigger brand, but
mhm,
he had his own company within a company, like Jordan brand under Nike.
mhm.
Similar.
Oh, okay.
I'm a visual person. I like to break it down like
Okay. So you the Michael Jordan. That's what you basically saying. That's cool. I'm sweating. It's kind
that.
of hot.
Good, no problem. I was too. I took my jacket off. I was
Yeah,
cold. You get cold and hot. That's why I keep a jacket close.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's me. That's exactly how I am. The same way. One minute I'll be cold, next minute I'm hot, and
Yeah,
yeah,
so I
so,
keep it close.
yeah. Did you did you want to repeat to people to let them know what social medias you on and how they can find you on social media?
Yep, you can follow me. You could add me on Facebook, Charles Space CIC Williams. So on Facebook, Charles Space CIC Williams, and on Instagram, Charles in Charge Williams. So in Charge Williams or underscore Instagram, and you can just if you have any questions, you can just reach out to me directly, and I'll get right to you.
Aren't you on TikTok too?
Yep, TikTok. My name in TikTok is Charles the Mayor 1997.
Not the mayor.
Yeah,
I know that's right. Claim it.
yeah,
So when I
that's
see Charles Williams running for mayor, then I know that's you.
yeah. But I remember that guy. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's right. Claim it. That's how you do it. You're supposed to claim it.
everything
Yep.
got to speak into existence.
Yep. You sure do. So you got to be careful what you say because the tongue is very powerful.
True. Yeah, yeah, true. I agree with that.
Very powerful. So you got to make sure that whatever you say, speaking on yourself or about yourself, it is something positive and that it's going to be something that you want to
Mm,
manifest,
mm,
not something that you don't want to manifest because the tongue is very powerful.
mm. I agree.
So,
1,000%.
yep. So if your goal is, what's your goal? What's your 5 year plan?
Yeah. So well, so my good question. So my 5 year plan is the main plan. So I'm 27 now. In the 5 years, I'll be about 34, 30, 34, 35. So my 5 year goal is to get to a point in the agency I'm in now is to build it where like I essentially kind of duplicated myself, like meaning have like a bunch of agents and brokers helping to serving families. So then at that point I could just kind of train and help the team. I don't have to be on the client side unless well I'll still always be on the client side because this is something that's in me now. But I just want to get to a point where by 5 years I'll be able to just train and develop my agents so we can help more people. So that's my main focus because for me, I can help a lot of people myself, but I'm only one person. So
Yeah.
by that point, have like the business on autopilot and we can help thousands of families, with more than one hands because 100, 200, 300 hands is better than two. So that's the goal in 5 years.
Yeah, that's cool. I was gonna ask you, so what is your worst experience that you've had since you've been in the business?
Worst experience? That's a great question. I would say honestly, I would just say the worst experience for me because for me, I'm like one of the crazy optimistic people. Like
Hmm.
I could be going through a fire. Like, well, it could have been worse, right? I'm one of them. But if it was something worse, I would say for me again, I would probably say again back to 2019 that year, and I would say that just because in business I was young, coming here, no experience, and yeah, it was that was the toughest year of my life because
Um,
I sold my car coming here because this how like this how I didn't know. I sold my car because I'm thinking like, oh, this like New York City. It's not gonna be a problem. I'm good. Man, I was in Downers Grove the first month in the offices in Oakbrook, and I remember getting here. I'm like, wait a minute, this not New York City. I said I'm in trouble. So I think the biggest thing was that it was just coming here and being the whole 2019. Because soon once everything started getting better. COVID came March 2022. I mean 20.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mm.
like, that them whole 2 years. So I think it was really that just coming here, no experience, no guidance, and trying to figure out this business. And well, luckily I had the office support, but
Mhm.
still, like you already have challenges like learning the business by yourself. Well, in general, without experience, and then two coming in a place where like I literally didn't know nobody.
Nobody.
So
Mhm.
I think I just go my time all of that whole year and you could put 2020 also. But outside of that, honestly, everything else I feel was really just like a learning experience, like trial and error. And I think what keeps me excited, why I don't really have too many bad experiences, because to be honest, I focus more like where I'm going instead of like where I'm at.
Yeah.
So if you focus on that, that keeps you positive through like a lot of the bad stuff. So I would say really, yeah, the 2019 that year, that was a tough year for me.
Right.
Rough.
I was laughing at one of your videos that I seen you had posted where you were saying one of the families, they asked you a question and they wanted this and that. They want all this stuff under this little umbrella or whatever. It was on your Instagram
Yeah.
page. I started cracking up laughing. I said he is so right about that because people will give you $10 and they think that $10 supposed to stretch out to something bigger than $10.
Yeah. You always gotta have fun. One thing I love about life and business, I always like to have fun and humor, and but and that's the thing too. Why I love educating people, cause in general being accessible, cause like it's a lot of like snippets and videos like in social media where it's 10, 15, 20-second videos, so you can get information, and then like when I actually get on a one-on-one, that's when I can really articulate and educate people like a more in depth. So, but yeah, I always like to have fun.
Mm, wow, that is so awesome. Well, do you have any closing remarks?
I would well one thing the closing remark I would just say is, hey, everybody keep following and keep listening to Laura because she knows what she's talking about, and also I feel she's anointed.
Oh
So
wow.
keep
Thank
following and keep listening to her. She's doing it, and also it's always great hearing and listening from like positive people because energy to me energy is contagious. I
Yes,
don't
it
like
is.
I don't like being around a lot of people who's not speaking like this. So if you guys are listening and following to somebody like Lord, keep doing it because obviously she's on the right path and she's speaking what people need to hear. So that's what I would say. Just keep listening to her.
Wow. Well, it was great talking to you. Wow, keep on doing what you're doing. Keep that positive the way of thinking. Um,
Thank you.
and every step of the way, make sure that you ask God to guide your path.
Amen.
Um, and yeah, just keep on pounding. And thank you, Angelique. She said, "Laura, it's the best." So,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, and you just keep on doing what you're doing because, man, you like I said, you got people watching you. You
Thank you.
got them watching you, and that is so important because that will help someone else out. You
Thank
know, I know that life insurance and those different kinds of insurances and things like that, that business is a booming business, especially if you have the right personality and you have a very good personality. So that plays a major part in it is your personality.
Thank you.
Um, you can't be mean and nasty to people and think that they're gonna spend their money with you. So
At all.
you have to continue with that personality. Don't let nobody change you.
Thank you.
Continue being you. You know, if you're a kind person and you get somebody that's mean, just smile it off and keep it moving because that one person that you decide, hey, I'm gonna say what I gotta say back to you, um, can maybe ruin your career. You
Mm,
just never know. So you got to be careful about that. You just smile it off and you just your battle is not for you to fight anyway to begin
Mm,
with. Your battles is for God to fight. So you just let him fight your battle. You don't go tit for tat with nobody over no craziness. Let them be. Because you're going to have those people that's going to say, well, I think that you should be giving me more of this. And so you're going to have those people. Every day is not going to be perfect. So, but you just know who's in control and who you belong to.
got you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I really appreciate them words. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because man, without God, you ain't gonna make it. You won't make it, but you on the right path, and you know there's more of Charles in charge that people will get a chance to see.
Thank you.
Um, so Charles, tell them one more time how they can get in contact with you and where they can find you at. Even tell them about your TikTok account, just because those when people follow you on TikTok, that helps you out.
Hmm.
When they follow you on Instagram, it helps you out. So just tell them all your social media so they can follow you.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. So my Facebook again is Charles space CIC Williams. That's Facebook Charles space CIC Williams. My Instagram is Charles in charge. So in charge Williams in all underscores. And my TikTok last is Charles the Mayor 1997.
Wow,
So
that is so
all of
awesome.
them you can reach out to me and I'll get right back to you. So just reach out to me directly and I'll message you.
Cool. That is so cool. And if guys, if you would like to be a guest on Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends, hit us an email and we will respond back to you as soon as possible. And we will set you up with a scheduled date as to when you will be able to come on our show and talk to us and have fun and whatever it is that you do, we're willing to have you on our show. Long as it's something positive, because the show is called Inspirational, and inspirational means to help other people, inspire them and, give them good vibes. Not, we ain't looking for no negative. We ain't looking for you to tell us about how you bullied this person. We're not looking for that. Because you got those people out here. That's what they do. They bully people. But we're not looking for that. But we are so glad, Charles, that you stopped by.
Thank you.
Um, and we're gonna put our little video out here. You were great. You was a very good guest.
Thank you. I had a phenomenal time.
Yep, and we enjoyed having you here.
Thank
So,
thank
and guys, thank you for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. And remember, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So live your life to the fullest. And remember, put God first, and everything else will fall into place. All right, guys, I'm out of here. It's your girl, Laura Simmons. Peace.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of our guests and do not necessarily reflect Freedom Productions.
All right, y'all. Good night. Love y'all. Peace.